Welcome to World Cinema Recap. The film opens with a young boy named Mowgli and a pack of wolves fleeing through a dense forest. Mowgli tries to climb a tree to get away, but he ends up falling to the ground after stepping on a weak branch. Bagheera, a wise panther who has been caring for Mowgli since he was a baby, comes to check on him and scolds Mowgli for his carelessness. Even though he has a deep connection with the Wall of Darkness, Bagheera follows Mowgli to the wolf pack where he was raised by his wolf parents, Akela and Raksha. When the rainy season ends and the forest rivers begin to dry up, a unique rock known as Peace Rock is exposed, signaling that the water sources are nearly exhausted. During this time, animals are prevented from hunting near the riverbanks so that all the species can hydrate themselves in peace. When Mowgli learns of this, she becomes excited and decides to head to the riverbank, but Raksha tries to stop her. Shere Khan smells human and quickly locates Mowgli hiding behind a rock. He begins approaching our youngster, but the wolves are getting ready to defend him at any cost. Seeing this, Shere Khan declares a truce to respect the water shortage and promises to return once the river returns, threatening anyone who stands in his way. After more weeks of drought, the forest finally sees rain, prompting the wolf pack to make a difficult decision. Akela, the wolf pack leader, chooses to send Mowgli to live with his humans for his safety, despite initial resistance from Raksha. Bagheera offers to travel with Mowgli, and the rest of the pack agrees that Mowgli is safest with people, away from Shere Khan. On their route, Bagheera and Mowgli come across a herd of elephants, which they treat with awe and reverence. Mowgli thinks they must have made the jungle since they emerge into a huge, dry grass filled by buffalo. When Shere Khan, the ferocious Bengal tiger, emerges from the tall grass to attack Mowgli, Bagheera quickly intervenes and engages in a fierce battle with the tiger, but he is eventually defeated. Shere Khan then turns his attention to Mowgli and almost catches him, but at that moment, some buffalo cause a stampede, and the tiger flees. After killing Akela, Shere Khan returns to the wolf pack and confronts Akela, demanding to know why they haven't surrendered Mowgli. Upon hearing this, Shere Khan loses his temper and attacks Akela, the pack's leader, who is then swiftly grabbed by the neck and thrown off a cliff, where he falls to his death. Mowgli, far away from this chaos, is riding on the back of a buffalo, says Mowgli, completely unaware that his father is dead. Meanwhile, Shere Khan has declared that the jungle is now his territory, and he won't leave until they return Mowgli to him. He sees a landslide coming and quickly dives into the river, where he clings to a log and floats for a long time until he reaches a safe haven. Tired and hungry, Mowgli begins searching for Bagheera but instead discovers the shed skin of a massive snake. He tries to use a vine to reach the fruit but is surprised by a raccoon, who distracts him long enough for his companions to steal it. After chasing the crooks up a tree, Mowgli is all geared up to put a bullet in that raccoon's arse when he is suddenly surrounded by a massive python named Ka, who claims to know Bagheera, and slowly begins to hypnotize Mowgli with its eyes. At this point, Mowgli remembers the time his father brought him into a cave to protect him from Shere Khan, tried to scare the Mowgli is reluctant to help Baloo, who needs the honey to survive the next winter, but Baloo asks whether he can climb and Mowgli says that he can. Baloo then asks Mowgli for help in gathering honey from a high mountain that is guarded by innumerable bees. Mowgli goes around the mountain, ties a vine to a tree, and descends to retrieve the honeycomb, where he is stung by bees but ultimately succeeds in retrieving enough honey for Baloo. Afterward, he complains to Mowgli about the bee stings but also mentions that he must continue on to the human village before Shere Khan catches up with him. When Baloo hears this, he knows he's being followed by a predator and makes the decision to lead Mowgli to safety. As they go through the jungle towards the village, Baloo tells Mowgli that he doesn't have to choose between being human and a wolf, and that he may be both. Baloo also offers Mowgli friendship and a carefree lifestyle. Mowgli stays with Baloo to assist him harvest honey and refine his talents, The two spend their days making tools and practicing honey-gathering ways until one day, while bathing in the river, they succeed. Without warning, Mowgli moves in the bushes and warns those below. After being scolded by Bagheera, Mowgli and Baloo decide to wait until morning to continue their journey to the humans so that they can spend more time together. During the night, Mowgli hears the sound of elephants and goes to investigate. He finds a baby elephant trapped in a crater and decides to help it. While the elder elephants help take the calf to safety, Mowgli hastily grabs some vines and binds them to the newborn elephant. Mowgli's cleverness in this matter impresses both Bagheera and Baloo, but Bagheera is still convinced that Mowgli should be transferred to the human village, what with Shere Khan doggedly chasing him and all. Baloo, on the other hand, believes that Akela, the wolf pack leader, can protect Mowgli. When Bagheera reveals that Akela has been killed by Shere Khan, Baloo is shocked and finally realizes the gravity of the situation. Mowgli begs Baloo to stay, but Baloo acts as if he doesn't care and merely used Mowgli for the honey. He leaves Baloo's area in tears, and while sitting on a tree branch contemplating his next move, Mowgli is approached by monkeys, who, upon hearing his cries, seize and playfully toss him along the branches. Bagheera and Baloo follow the monkeys till they reach the foot of a very tall and precipitous mountain. As Mowgli investigates the temple, which is stocked with fruit and human relics, a massive orangutan hand appears from the shadows, claiming to be King Louie, a monkey. Mowgli is terrified of King Louie, who seems to know everything about him and promises to protect him from Shere Khan and other jungle dangers in exchange for Mowgli showing him how to control the red flower which humans possess. He's actually talking about fire, but Mowgli denies knowing anything about the flower and expresses a desire to leave. King Louie is alerted by one of the monkeys, and the subsequent terrible don't give up the chase, no matter how many monkeys there are. Mowgli is told to flee ahead while Baloo and Bagheera fight off the monkeys, but King Louie is so set on capturing the youngster that he has blocked his escape. Mowgli begs to be released, saying he will immediately seek Akela's protection among the wolves. King Louie announces that Shere Khan has killed Akela. After hearing the revelation, our young hero goes crazy and storms up the temple steps, causing King Louie to pursue after him. Then, on purpose, Mowgli walks into a weak area of the temple, and as the giant orangutan chases after him, a pillar collapses. When Bagheera and Baloo arrive to aid Mowgli, they find him safely perched in a tree. However, after hearing about Akela's death, Mowgli has decided to go to the human village after all. When he gets there, he arrogantly tries to approach the central bonfire to get the red flower, also known as fire, but is afraid of its size, so instead, he takes one of the torches and runs back to the jungle. When Mowgli knocks over some embers from his torch in the Californian setting of the film, he doesn't realize he started a forest fire and keeps walking until he meets a group of animals beside the river. To prove Shere Khan incorrect, Mowgli dares him to a battle, but the tiger mocks him by declaring that he is polluting the forest with the red flower. Mowgli throws the flame into the river and declares to the others that he is truly human. Shere Khan taunts Mowgli and gets ready to attack, but to his surprise, other animals intervene to protect our youngster. Despite being outnumbered, however, Shere Khan nevertheless faces the pack of wolves head-on. In the midst of the chaos, Mowgli escapes into the forest with Shere Khan chasing after him and Bagheera close behind. Soon, Bagheera catches up to Shere Khan, and a fierce fight ensues between the two big cats. Despite delivering blows, Bagheera is easily defeated by the Bengal tiger. Shere Khan arrives and Mowgli tries to make him fall by luring him onto the weak branches, but the tiger climbs down to safer ones, frustrated. Meanwhile, Bagheera is overpowered and the wolves intervene to save him, while Mowgli reaches a burning part of the forest and remembers Bagheera's teachings, using dead branches to create a weapon, then setting up a makeshift swing and cleaning a tree. When Mowgli reaches a high enough branch to use the vine as a swing, Shere Khan tries to play mind games by narrating how he murdered Akela, which temporarily diverts his attention and allows Shere Khan to pounce on him. Fortunately, Mowgli is startled out of his reverie and uses the swing to escape as Shere Khan is now on a weaker branch, which snaps and breaks, sending the tiger plummeting into the fire to his death. Meanwhile, the injured animals are worried about Mowgli because they believe the tiger has already killed him. However, to their surprise, Mowgli arrives there with the herd of elephants that he had helped previously, and he guides them to break down the riverbank. In the final scene, with her family reunited, Raksha declares herself the new leader of the wolves, ensuring their safety. The film ends with Mowgli